Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul, I'll be there.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Just before we upgrade to the next generation of the gaming setup, let's take a look at where we are now. So, this is my room. Looks pretty good, but there are some noticeable problem points. This chair is extremely uncomfortable. This pretty shoddy excuse for a curtain is actually just a piece of fabric taped to my ceiling. The PC you see at the bottom left is on its last legs, it really is aging fast, and those curtains on the right hand side are really looking out of place. So we're going to fix these problems and then take the setup even further. But before that, I need to clean my room. Unfortunately, since I filmed that last setup, my room hasn't exactly stayed as clean as I would have hoped. And the problem is, we just get so many deliveries here, which is great, but I just need to get a little bit better at managing them. So I'm shifting up some boxes, getting some black bags, packing everything away, and now we're going to start upgrading. So the first thing you'll probably notice is that brand new PC on the right hand side of our room. So you might remember my collab I did with Marcus from PC Centric. He basically built a custom PC just so we could edit the videos on this channel. We'll talk about the specs in a little bit, but what this allows me to do is to completely remove that aging PC I had and replace it with the PC that was originally on the right hand side of the room. It gets better because we have a package here from Game. Now you might be aware I've got a PlayStation 4 Pro hooked up on the right hand side of the room. We're going to add a standard PlayStation 4 on the left as well. You'll see where we're going with this in just a little bit. So we take it out the packaging. It's a really slimline console, the new PlayStation 4, and it's going to sit quite nicely next to this PC on the left. Now if we take a glance around my room right now, you'll notice something else a bit different. Those curtains, those ugly curtains you saw at the beginning, have been replaced with these blinds. Now these aren't anything special, they're just standard blackout blinds, so they're going to block pretty much all the light, which stops you waking up at stupid times in the morning. What you'll also be interested in seeing, something which has completely changed since I last did my setup, is where I film. So this white table over here, by the way that wallpaper was made by Rahul, so big thanks to him, is basically where I sit. I've also very recently upgraded my microphone from the Rode NTG3 to the Sennheiser MKH416, and this is pretty much Sennheiser's highest end shotgun microphone. I've been using it for my latest few videos and have been seriously impressed. I've also added these same blinds right to the back of my setup just to block out any backlighting, and you might notice something else. The monitor, which used to be on the far left of my setup, has now shifted to the middle and it's been replaced by this giant TV here. This is a 49-inch LED TV, which is exactly the same size as the TV we have on the right hand side, so it looks like a more symmetrical setup, and when I show you the shots at the end of the entire setup, it'll start to make a lot of sense. What I think is quite cool is I've got this little ridge running around the inside of my desk. Now it is a custom made desk, and what that's allowed me to do is to not only have an LED strip running through it, but also allowed me to hide the monitor's power cable. So with a combination of some sticky tape and a serious amount of patience, I managed to wire this up so you can barely tell there's a cable. Just a little thing dangling off the end of the monitor. And connected to this monitor via HDMI, you've probably noticed a good old friend of mine. This is the Nvidia Shield tablet. Still, even today, even 3 years after it was launched, one of the best multimedia Android tablets, which is almost embarrassing. It's really good for playing any Android games you might want to, and it's also got a controller that connects wirelessly to it and feels every bit as good as an Xbox One. Alright, moving on. You might be familiar with the Nanoleaf Aurora. These triangular lights have almost defined my setup ever since the second update to it. You can control them via an app, and there's plenty of customization options there. But they're getting better now, because the company has actually released the Aurora Rhythm. It's a tiny little plugin that comes in this little recyclable cardboard box, and you just clip it onto the end of your existing Nanoleaf Aurora kit, and it allows them to sync to music. Well, technically even when you talk or when you clap. And again, when I show you all this together at the end, it's a really cool effect. Now for a bit of an audio upgrade. These are the ZO2 wireless Bluetooth desktop speakers, and they are regrettably quite expensive. Tearing open the packaging reveals 2 giant boxes, each of which comes with their own foam padding. Now I chose these speakers in particular to replace my QBT03s, which were pretty good, and these aren't necessarily much bigger, but they should sound quite a bit fuller. They also connect directly to my TV, so by default every time I turn that television on, audio will play out of these. And also they do sound quite a bit bassier. They're also Bluetooth, so you can instantly connect them to the phone, so it's kind of like an all-in-one media solution in the room. Now let's talk a little bit about this PC. Now because it is geared towards editing, its specifications are focused in this way. So it's got an 8-core Ryzen 1800X and 32GB of 3000MHz RAM. It's got a GTX 1070 card in there, which is not an extreme gaming card, but for the purposes of this PC is going to do a fantastic job. You've probably also been drawn to the crazy LEDs going on in this case. This is the Corsair 570X, and through Corsair's PC lighting application, you can get the lights in your case to sync with the lights in your keyboard. And whilst it definitely does need a little bit of a clean, this is the K95 Platinum, and it is one of the best keyboards I've ever used, in terms of response time, in terms of LED customizability, and in terms of typing experience. And it doesn't end there. The same lighting software works not only across the keyboard, but the mouse too. And believe it or not, even the mousepad. So when all the lights are off, you just got this crazy surge of LEDs flying across your room, all completely in sync. Alright, flicking back over to the left hand side of the room, you can see we've got a brand new graphics card. This is the GTX 1070 Ti, and amazingly this card is 10 to 15% faster than last generation's top-end 980 Ti, which is the card I have in the PC just below. Taking the 1070 Ti out of the anti-static bag and inspecting it for the first time, you realise, wow, that is one good looking card. It almost resembles a gemstone with all these angular edges reflecting light in slightly different directions, and of course Nvidia's latest and greatest cooling solution. So as I said, this PC on the left hand side currently has a 980 Ti in, so what I'll do is take that out, replace it with the 1070 Ti, and now we've got a slightly higher level of performance. But that's not the end of this left hand side. You'll notice two other laptops over here. The one on the right is Google's brand new Pixelbook, something I was really excited to try out. It kind of has both the benefits of being a laptop and a tablet, because at any time you want to, you can fold the lid and change modes. Google was also kind enough to actually engrave the Mr. Who's the Boss logo on there, so that's pretty neat. And overall, I'm really finding myself enjoying using it. The trackpad isn't quite as responsive as the ones on the MacBook, but in terms of battery life and portability, it's fantastic. The machine on the far left is a Colorware Custom Edition 2015 top-end MacBook Pro. That was a mouthful and a half. So that's not really the machine I use regularly to edit videos, but it's kind of the spare laptop that's often handed around the house. Alright, let's just take a step back now and really enjoy the setup. So you've seen almost all aspects of it now, and this is the latest and greatest version. I haven't even got started on the rest of the room. The cabinet's filled with phones and all that other cool stuff, but I'm thinking I'll save that for a full room tour, so do let me know if you want to see that. Alright guys, thanks a lot for sticking this far into the video. I really hope you did enjoy it, and all the product links, or at least most of them, are going to be in the description below, so if you're interested, do check that out. And don't forget, if you want to submit any ideas for future editions of the setup, be sure to do that. I'd be really interested to hear what you think. With that being said, I'm Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'm signing out.